trigger until down the road.
Exactly. We can revisit that and find out.
Oh, good. I just, it's a non-event.
Exactly.
have no income there.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and please remain standing for the invocation by Pastor Lynn Davis. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, we seek blessings on the tasks before us. Bless our efforts with clear insight, our deliberations with wisdom, our work with clarity and accuracy, and our decisions with impartiality. We give our task to you today. In the name of God, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Davis. This is a regular meeting of the Township Council is being held in accordance with the schedule of the meetings of Township Council, established and adopted by Township Council, which schedule designated time, date, and place of this meeting. Adequate public notice of this meeting has been provided pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act. We are using electronic amplifying recording device in order to obtain a clear and audible record, and we request all those wishing to speak be recognized and state your name and address directly into the microphone. The recording device is to be solely utilized by the Township Clerk's Office for the preparation of minutes and shall be the official record of the Township Council meetings. Madam Clerk, may I have the roll call, please?
Mr. Hutchison?
He is out due to a work thing.
Mr. Owens?
Present.
Mrs. Stubbs?
She is out on medical.
Mrs. Winters? Here. Mr. Mignon?
Here.
Mrs. Strato? Here. Mr. Mercado?
Present.
Mr. Carlemere? Mr. Cardis?
Here.
Mr. Lechner?
Here.
Deputy Chief Harkins?
Present.
Mr. Chadwell?
Here. Please let the record state that Mr. Hutchison is out of that work commitment. Thank you, Steve. Bid report, proclamation.
2019, you drive, you text, you pay, distracted driving crackdown. Whereas distracted driving is a serious life-threatening practice that is preventable, and whereas distracted driving can result in injuries and deaths to all road users, motorists, pedestrians, and bicyclists. And whereas distracted driving occurs when drivers divert their attention away from the task of driving to focus on another activity instead. And whereas in 2016 alone, distracted driving related crashes resulted in 3,450 deaths and 391,000 injuries in our nation's roads. And whereas in New Jersey, distracted driving was listed as a contributing circumstance in 53% of all motor vehicle crashes in 2016. And whereas the state of New Jersey will participate in the nationwide distracted driving crackdown from April 1st through the 21st of 2019 in an effort to raise awareness and decrease driver distraction through a combination of enforcement and education. And whereas the national slogan for the campaign is, "You drive, you text, you pay." And whereas a reduction in distracted driving in New Jersey will save lives on our roadways. Therefore, be it resolved that David Mayer, Mayor of the Township of Gloucester, and Orlando Mercado, Council President, do hereby proclaim Township of Gloucester's support for the distracted driving 2019 crackdown, both locally and nationally, from April 1st through the 21st, and pledge to increase awareness of the dangers of distracted driving.
Bid report.
Everett Court Punch List.
May I have a motion, please? Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison.
Yes.
Mr. Owens.
Yes.
Mrs. Winters. Yes. Mr. Mignon.
Yes.
Mrs. Strato.
Yes.
Mr. Mercado.
Yes. Next, we have our public portion. This is for agenda items only. If you wish to comment on any of the second readings of the ordinances, there is a public hearing for it, and I ask you to reserve your comments during the public hearing for each of the ordinances. But anyone wishing to speak on any agenda items, mostly the resolutions, please speak up. Mr. Polidoro.
Good evening, Council. Ray Polidoro from the Historic Village of Ariel.
Good evening.
Again, I trust that everybody had a great Easter weekend and a good holiday so far. Good. You have on the resolution for the first reading of the 2019 budget. As much as I never understood why our budgets are passed so late in the year that it's already applying to, it is what it is, and it has been for a long time. Amongst that, your first reading is going to provide for the notice and public hearing and public inspection. Assuming that you pass that tonight, when will that be available for public inspection?
Well, we're not passing, we're basically introducing.
Again, but
the budget's not being passed tonight, it's being introduced.
what I'm saying is, if you pass this first resolution for first reading, when will the budget be available for the public to view?
Madam Clerk, it was submitted to the Courier Post.
No, it'll be in the Courier Post. There was actually a correction from April 29th to May 2nd. It will be in the Courier Post. And it will be available for public inspection tomorrow
On the township's
morning.
website.
Tomorrow online?
Mhm.
Okay. I would trust that the budget has been worked on, that it is prepared and just about ready for it to go out?
Yes.
Okay. For many years, we have spoken about the budget, and sometimes it gets a little heated, sometimes it's funny, for lack of a better word. My question is going to be pretty much direct. You feel that the budget, first off, let me ask this way. Has council viewed this budget yet?
I received my budget today when I showed up to pick up my package.
Okay.
So I have not reviewed it.
All right. So I can only ask it this way rather than your observation of it, and I guess it will wait for the second reading. I'm hoping that you find this to be a responsible budget. And when I say responsible, I don't mean that you think you worked long and hard on it and it looks like a good budget. This township has a habit, and it is a habit, every other year, on even number of years, this township is hit with a tax increase. If you're doing a budget and you're sitting down to a budget, I would think that it would be best that you looked into the future and not just in the even number years. That being said, when you look at this budget, take a look a few years out. Make sure that this budget secures for a future and not just this year. If you pass this budget, I would like to think that this budget will have the foresight to look into that future, and that you, when you pass this budget, will guarantee the people of this township that for at least the next 3 years, they will not see a tax increase. You haven't done it in quite a while. I think when you sit down and look at this budget, let's not just wait past this year and hit everybody, as we do, the following year, that you look into the future. And you look to see and tell the people of Gloucester Township that you can promise and guarantee them that for the next 3 years, they're not going to see a property tax increase. With that being said, have a good night.
You as well. Anyone else? Ms. Carr?
Joanne Carr, Timber Birch.
Good evening.
Good to see you all again. I have a question about Resolution 1904-116. Put the glasses on, take the glasses off. Okay. We are making an application for a grant for the tavern, and I appreciate that. I do, however, have a question because it says on here that it's for roof replacement for the tavern, and the removal of the powder room and the stabilization of the wall. Can you tell me how old the last roof is?
Mr. Cars, did you have?
I believe that may be a misprint.
I think it must be a misprint.
Yeah, because with the last application, we already received monies to replace the roof on the Gable Davies Tavern, and I believe the roof was in fact replaced.
Yes, it was, within the last 5 years.
Yes, and that was what was used as our match, because you have to show a match
Right,
with the New Jersey Historic Preservation Trust.
right.
So I think that is a misprint. It is not going to be money for a roof replacement. It's going to be money for the removal of the 1960s bathroom and stabilization of the end wall by restoration of the chimney mass on the Gable Davies Tavern.
Mr. Cars, is there a deadline for this application?
I believe there is, and I believe it is May 2nd.
Okay. So, Mr. Cromer is not here today, so we can amend this resolution and get the proper wording on it.
Yes.
But it's an application up to
Right.
$150,000. We're putting an application in, there's no fee to put an application in.
No. No, we did, in fact, we filed an application last year, we were rejected, so we're going to file again this year.
Okay.
So if we can get the correct wording, I appreciate, I will make a motion to table it, seeing that we have a deadline of May
Yes,
2nd.
please do not.
But we'll have that caveat, we're going to amend the title of it.
Thank you. I was just afraid if it went forward that way, the state might say, well, what'd you do with the last money? And they wouldn't give us any more. So I wanted it to be correct in our application.
And we can straighten that out with the application itself.
Super, thank you. The other question I had to ask was about the budget, and I don't know whether it's this budget. Is this the capital budget, or was that before? Okay. I know I came before you last year asking about the ball field at Timber Birch to see if we could get put on the agenda for that. They had replaced many broken items there. I mean, they had removed many broken items, but they hadn't replaced any, and some of the young parents were wondering if anything was going to be done further at Timber Birch Field.
I don't recall that request, to be honest with you. Did you make it to here?
I made it right here. Right here I stood when we were talking, and it was about this time last year. I said, we missed the budget, so I'll put it in for next year. So, all right.
Orchard Park, Orchard Avenue?
No, Timber Birch. It's surrounded by houses. You have to go in off of Prospect or Sherbrooke. And it used to have a ball field with a backstop and all that, and with the way families are going anymore, they're all in TBAA or whatever, so that field wasn't used at all. So you took the cyclone fencing down, you took the backstop down, you took the bleachers down, and it's a lovely field, but as the equipment was getting unsafe, it was removed and has not been replaced. So if you could send somebody out there to take a look at it, and if we're not on the agenda for this year, maybe we could get on it for next.
Mr. Cars, can you contact Public Works? Thank you.
I shall. Thank you.
Is there anyone else? Seeing none, we'll close the first public portion. Ordinances of second reading, there will be a public hearing. Ordinance 0-19-05, ordinance of the Township of Gloucester, County of Camden, State of New Jersey, amending ordinance 0-03-03, land development regarding performance guarantees. This repeals and amends the performance guarantees for perimeter buffing, landscaping, safety, and stabilization, TCOs, maintenance guarantees. Mr. Leck, is there anything you want to add to that?
Just that this ordinance and all the other ordinances, the planning board recommended for approval of that ordinance.
With that, I open up the public hearing. close the public hearing. Entertain a motion?
Second.
On the question? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Winters? Yes. Mr. Mignon?
Yes.
Mrs. Strato?
Yes.
Mr. Mercado?
Yes. Next is ordinance 0-19-06, ordinance of the Township of Gloucester, County of Camden, State of New Jersey, amending ordinance 12-26, entitled the Lakeland Complex Phase 1, Block 12301, redevelopment plan in accordance with NJSA 40A 12A-1 et sec, local redevelopment and housing law. This amends the previous ordinance, as mentioned earlier, to include, there is senior housing that takes place at Lakeland, Senior Campus 1, but this permits veteran-supported housing within the block 12301, Lot 4. So this will be included in that redevelopment plan. With that, I'll open up the public hearing. Seeing none, close the public hearing. I entertain a motion.
So moved.
On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Winters? Yes. Mr. Mignon?
Yes.
Mrs. Strato?
Yes.
Mr. Mercado?
Yes. Next is ordinance 0-19-07, ordinance of the Township of Gloucester, County of Camden, State of New Jersey, adopting amendment number 3, amending ordinance 0-04-13, titled the Blackwood West redevelopment plan in accordance with NJSA 40A 12A1 et sec, local redevelopment and housing law. This amends the settlement agreement that we had with Fair Share Housing for Blackwood West redevelopment plan, the Hill Creek property, where originally they were supposed to construct 96 low and moderate income family rental apartment units, but this is now 100 affordable rental units. Again, for those who aren't familiar with low and moderate income housing, the individuals that qualify for low and moderate income housing could be veterans, disabled individuals, individuals that graduate from college that make less than $46,000 a year, a family of 4. There are certain levels, senior citizens, that are all permitted in low and moderate income housing. Unfortunately, people put a false narrative out there when it comes to low and moderate income housing. With that, I open up the public hearing. Mr. Krug.
Good evening, Council. Paul Krug, Blackwood. Do we know where that facility is going to be?
It is, are you familiar where Walgreens and Skeeter's is at?
Yes.
Where Walgreens, it goes down Needle Road and then goes up to Black Horse Pike. That was a project that it was formerly known as Southwinds. That was a project that was approved in the mid-2000s, went to litigation, and then there was a settlement agreement sometime in 2010, 2011. There's a new developer for that particular project, and there's a certain component of it that has to be as part of a litigation agreement that we have with Fair Share Housing. So 100 units have to be earmarked for low and moderate income housing.
Okay. And the developer from the mid-2000s is out and a new developer has taken its place for the
That's
project?
correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? With that, I'll close the public hearing. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. On the question, roll call, please.
Yes.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Winters? Yes. Mr. Mignon?
Yes.
Mrs. Strato?
Yes.
Mr. Mercado?
Yes. Next is ordinance 0-19-08, an ordinance repealing and replacing Article 10, Affordable Housing Procedural and Eligibility Requirements of Ordinance 0-03-03, Land Development of the Township of Gloucester to address the requirements of the Fair Housing Act and the Uniform Housing Affordability Controls regarding compliance with the Township's affordable housing obligations. This is some housekeeping that, as a township, we have to go through. There was an agreement with New Jersey, Fair Share Housing, and this basically brings our ordinance to compliance. I'll open up the public portion. Seeing none comments, close the public portion. I entertain a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Winters?
Yes. Mr. Mignon?
Yes.
Mrs. Strato?
Yes.
Mr. Mercado?
Yes. That's a long ordinance. Next is ordinance 0-19-09. It's an ordinance repealing or replacing Article 9, Section 902, Affordable Housing Fees and Procedures of Ordinance 0-03-03, Land Development of the Township of Gloucester to provide for the collection of development fees in support of affordable housing as permitted by the New Jersey Fair Housing Act. Once again, this is bringing up our ordinance, modernizing it and updating it according to the agreement with Fair Share Housing. I will now open up the public portion. Seeing none, we'll close the public portion. I entertain a motion. So moved. Thank you.
I'll second.
On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Winters? Yes. Mr. Mignon?
Yes.
Mrs. Strato?
Yes.
Mr. Mercado?
Yes. Next, we have a resolution on the consent agenda. Any council member who would like to remove any of the items, please speak up. I would like to remove Resolution 1904-116 and have that voted on separately. I entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda with that one amendment.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Winters? Yes. Mr. Mignon?
Yes.
Mrs. Strato?
Yes.
Mr. Mercado?
Yes, next is Resolution 1904-116, resolution authorizing application to preserve New Jersey, application to the Preserve New Jersey Historic Preservation Fund for a grant for the purpose of, we'll call it renovations and improvements to the Gabriel Davies Tavern, which will include the removal of the 1960s bathroom and stabilization of the end wall by restoration of the chimney. I entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Winters? Yes. Mr. Mignon?
Yes.
Mrs. Strato?
Yes.
Mr. Mercado?
Yes.
Resolution 123, resolution approving introduction and providing notice for public hearing and public inspection of the 2019 municipal budget.
I entertain a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
On the question, before we vote, Mr. Carson, is there anything you want to add to that?
This budget provides for total appropriations of $64,288,627.63. It contains an amount to be raised by taxation of $47,829,279.04. And that represents a zero increase over the prior year amount to be raised by taxation.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hutchison?
Yes.
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Winters? Yes. Mr. Mignon?
Yes.
Mrs. Strato?
Yes.
Mr. Mercado?
Yes. We did not receive any GTE Gov access emails. We'll now open up the second public portion. Anyone wishing to speak on any item, please raise your hand. Mr. Hayes.
David Haig, Highland Village. What you just said, I submitted a question last meeting and it was never answered, and I reviewed the video and it was never brought up.
Okay.
I brought up a couple years ago or a year before, I brought up that the meetings, council meetings should be published on the,
Mr. Hay, I'm going to cut you off. I did address that on
I just-
Pixel. Absolutely.
on what, did you?
Yes.
I didn't see it in the, I reviewed the tape, I didn't see it.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't see it on the tape, and I couldn't find the minute agenda, meeting minutes on the website, so. Okay,
Okay.
I'll talk to you after meeting.
Absolutely. Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Krug.
Good evening again, Council. Paul Krug, Blackwood. On the March 25th council meeting, I requested that council write a letter to the owner of the shops at Gloucester Township, Mr. Greco. Was council able to do so, and was Mr. Greco able to respond, I requested, by today's meeting?
We have not done so yet.
Okay.
As I said to you, I have no problem writing a letter on behalf of council, inquiring for an update on the property. I did drive by it recently. I know Mr. Owens took a drive-by as well.
I walked the property.
It seems like some landscaping has taken place, and the parking lot doesn't seem as encumbered as it was beforehand. Mr. Owens, is there anything you want to comment?
The parking lot obviously needs repaving. There are some parts of the lack of the awning that are left open, but based on the email from Mr. Lechner, I'm willing to give this new developer the opportunity to work with that potential developer that's going to come in here, the supermarket, and see where it's going to go. I believe Mr. Lechner there is coming for a second or third site visit, based on your email to Mr. Krug.
That's what he advised me. I haven't heard from him since.
So I'm willing to let this, I won't let it play out too long, but I am interested to see how much progress will be made. But no, I definitely agree there are some parts of that property that do need a little work, but if they plan on renovating the entire facade again, I don't see the need to push them and force them to do it. Now, if nothing becomes of this new supermarket that comes in there, then I think there's definitely some reason for us to push to get it completed. So I definitely would be supportive of that.
I will have something drafted and share with my colleagues at our next workshop. It will be the first Monday in May.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Mr. President, I had noticed they're still doing the angle parking up against the curb, like we're typically in a shopping. No, that
Just anywhere.
The whole shopping perimeter.
like back in my day, you could do that, but I feel like now, like the shopping centers, it's all fire zone. And when I had driven through that property after your letter, I actually almost got hit because there were all those people angled out, and I was coming up, and somebody came around and didn't see me. Is that something that eventually can be changed from, or is that, who does that?
Mr. Lechner?
I'd have to review the site plan to see exactly how it's been laid out. It may not be line striped properly right now.
Yeah, I forget if there were yellow lines
There
or
were
not.
very faded yellow fire lines, but
No signs
no
that
signs,
said.
but it was
Fire lanes or
definitely
parking?
disconcerting.
No, people just still park there,
Yeah, they were
against
not-
the curb,
yeah.
like straight in or angled,
Not
right up
actual
against
spaces,
the
just
stores.
like in a driveway.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason why the fire marshal can't do an inspection and make them,
I mean, I
even
agree
if it's
with,
temporary,
Right.
I don't speak to the fire marshal, but I believe the he's got the fire code. So the fire marshal enforces the fire code, so if they have to paint
it's
it.
been that way
And
for
mark
as
it.
long as, I mean, since I grew up, but maybe it's something,
Fire
once
marshals
the
are
new
supposed to
things
inspect all
can
commercial
change.
businesses on an annual basis.
Mr. Owens, may I just ask, what would be a reasonable time frame in your mind to give this? And you had mentioned new developer. It's Mr. Greco has been the developer for 5 years, correct?
Yeah.
So, I
Just
mean,
a store, I guess I was.
Right, this
I
store.
meant the store, yeah.
okay. What would be reasonable for? I know I believe it's Lidl is the store that's in conversation. I know they had discussions about actually building a place in Gloucester Township. Now they're interested in renting, which could still be a big if.
I would, honestly, I would need to reread the email from Mr. Lechner to see what timeframe they were planning on doing, I guess, a second or third site visit. And then I'd be able to base a much more informative decision rather than just throwing out a number. So let me review that email, and then I'll be able to
Sure.
give you an idea.
And the main basis for these questions is I just think that corner is critical to what is being branded as the Village of Gloucester Township or Blackwood Arts District, which is kind of extending from the outlets all the way down through downtown Blackwood. And I think if we can get that corner built up nicely, it'll really help that entire Pike area. Only other thing I had tonight was, you've heard me mention private-public collaboration on streets when it comes to the water pipe being replaced. Actually, now at this point, I'd just like half the street to be paved by the water company. Today actually marks 6 months since the street was torn up for the new water pipe, and it still hasn't been paved at all.
Paul, your street, you're in Blackwood Estates, but what street is it?
Hortman, Hortman.
All right. I'll follow up and I'll give you, I have your email.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good night, Council.
Thank you.
You too.
Anyone else? Seeing, Mrs. Carr? You got a plug this weekend. There you
I
go.
got a plug this weekend.
You gotta take away Mr. Owen's thunder, you know. He reads the entire newsletter up here.
Joanne Clark, Timber. Number one, the Historic Committee is having their open house this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. The Black Powder Group will be here again, and it grows each year. Last year we had over 1,500 people attend. So we're looking for good weather and a lot of people to come out, and you'll learn a lot.
It's rain or shine, correct?
It is rain or shine. Well, they're coming Friday night and they're camping and they're sleeping there. We have our fire permits and they're camping in the rain. But Public Works has done a great job and gotten the grounds ready for company. And you know, you can bring your kids and watch them shoot arrows and throw tomahawks and fire flintlock rifles, and the cannon will go off. And we have a lot of different things going on Saturday and Sunday, and we just want to get as many people interested in coming out. Okay. Second thing, the Historic Committee is having a fundraiser, as we are wont to do, and it's tomorrow at Chipotle's. And if you go there, we will get 30% of what we bring in. Now, we have to bring in at least $300 or we get nothing. So if we bring in $275, we get nothing. But anything after $300, we get 30% of that. So it's a good fundraiser if we can get enough people. So if you're hungry tomorrow and you want a Chipotle dinner, you must, I have these, I can give them to you. You can take a picture on your phone and just show the phone when you give your order, and it will help us to keep costs down.
Joanne, do me a favor, send that to the mayor's office tomorrow morning, and Regina Carristo will probably put that out on our social media page.
Okay.
Yeah, blast that out.
Okay, will do.
And then it's easier for people to share it that way.
Well, I don't know whether Judy had done it being there, but I will take care of that.
Judy had.
I feel like I would see.
Yeah, it's been around and it's been,
Okay.
you know,
Do it again, because,
absolutely.
A
yeah.
reminder,
I'm
absolutely.
redundant. I do things over again. So, but just a reminder, and you know, and it's always better to give the day before. That way it's fresh. So, okay, I hope to see many of you this weekend, and thanks for all your efforts and help.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, we'll close the second public portion. Polling the directors.
Mr. Curtis?
Nothing to report.
Mr. Lackner?
I have nothing to report, thank you.
Deputy Chief Harkins?
Nothing to report.
Mr. Chadwell?
Have your report.
Mr. Hutchison?
Thank you very much for coming this evening, Mr. Cardis. Mr. Cardis, thank you very much for bringing a budget with a zero increase.
Mr. Owens?
Thanks everyone for coming out tonight. Deputy Chief, thanks to you and Gloucester Township Police Department, as always, and our first responders for keeping us safe. This weekend, I was volunteering at senior housing in Lakeland to till all the gardens over there. They have 4 large gardens, and I had the Boy Scout Troop 177 right here in Gloucester Township help out. It was great to see all the kids out and their parents clearing it out. It took a couple hours, so I can't thank them enough. Public Works helped out. They were hauling away all of the weeds and grass and clippings and dirt, so it didn't add to the tonnage of the trash enclosure, and it provided us with a lot of the tools. So just public thanks to the Boy Scout Troop 177. Also, Earth Day is so it's actually today. So as a way to reduce landfill waste, make sure you can recycle, use clothing and different electronics right here in town. All you have to do is text 610-TEXT-CMC, and they will haul everything away. And lastly, I hope everyone had a great Easter, a Passover, and Ramadan begins May 5th till June 4th. We won't have a meeting before the start of it, so I hope whoever celebrates has a very peaceful Ramadan as well.
Mrs. Winters?
I just want to thank everyone for coming out. Hopefully everyone had a great Easter and had a great week.
Mr. Minier?
I thank everyone for coming out. Thank you for your comments tonight. And if you're looking for something to do this Saturday from 11 o'clock to possibly about 12:30 or so, break away from the Historic Committee for an hour or two, we have our Gloucester Township Field of Dreams is opening up our 3rd season. So come out and see over 35 ball players play ball. Thank you.
Mrs. Trotta?
I don't think I can add any more than what everyone else has said, so thank you and have a great night.
Mr. Mercado?
This is a busy weekend in Gloucester Township. This is the 3rd year of Field of Dreams. Their opening, there's also an opening, I believe, indoor softball, and Gloucester Township Girls Athletic Association opens up their season. There's also a new business that opened up in downtown Blackwood, Pizzeria Flames, I believe, Flames, that is having their official opening that day across from Meadows Diner. And on May 2nd, the Ministerium, along with Mayor and Council, will be holding it's a National Day of Prayer breakfast at 7 o'clock in the Senior Center here, if anyone would like to attend. With that, entertain a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Hey, you know, If we do anything else, because it's probably something on a smaller scale.
I'm always.
Yeah, no, you're doing, I appreciate it.